In this video, I'm going to talk about a cold email copywriting hack that very few people use, and it's one of the most effective techniques to gain somebody's attention, particularly if you're targeting mid-market companies or enterprise companies. This is how we chanced upon this hack, right? So we had a client come in who helps wind farms repair their windmills, these wind turbine machines, at a much cheaper cost. So what happens is typically these windmill companies or wind farm companies, they're supplied by large corporations like Siemens, right? So what they do is when there's some breakdown in the windmill is not working or some part needs to be replaced, these people have an exorbitant service, right? The way this industry works is that when there's a problem with the wind farm, the wind farm operator reaches out to a large company called Siemens, for example, and then Siemens subcontracts this work out to other contractors and adds their margin and charges a lot of money to these wind farm operators to repair their windmills. What this company does, what a client does, is that they actually wanted to connect directly to wind farm operators so that if they face any breakdown in this whole chain in their windmill, they can just repair it directly and for much cheaper because they are cutting out the middleman, which is the large company that's just adding their cost on top and charging them a bomb. All right, so this client came into us and we tried a few approaches for them, right? We tried reaching out directly to the wind operator and saying, hey, we can help you with the repairs at a cheaper cost, please do keep us in mind, but nothing was working. And we realized the reason it wasn't working 1 month in is because we were trying to sell too hard on the initial contact. Now that's where we thought of the right person hack. So typically these wind farm operators, they are large companies as well. Even if they're smaller companies, the minimum headcount would be at least 50. So there's probably multiple people who are responsible for wind farm repairs at these energy companies. So the hack was to reach out to the right set of people and ask if they were the right person to look at this stuff. Let's get into the copy. Okay, so this is an example of the messaging that worked. Hi, Grant. I don't know if you're the right person or not, but maybe you can point me in the right direction. Provides composite repair and mechanical services for renewables in support of owners and operators. I see you're the director of supply chain. If I can add value to the organization by helping you tackle some of the to do list on your plate and perhaps cut some of the costs associated with it, will you be interested in at least pointing me in the right direction? Anyways, thanks in advance for your prompt response. Cheers. So, this is a great message, right? And I'll tell you why it is. So, look at the very first line. Look at how unsure the tone is, right? He doesn't want to pitch. He just wants to know if the person he's talking to is the right person or not for it. Maybe you can point me in the right direction. This maybe is critical. Then he's doing a brief introduction of what his company does. And then he's talking about the title, right? And then he's saying things about how he can add value to him, right? So it's always prospect first. He's not going in and saying, hey, this is awesome, you can do this, that. It's not about you when you're reaching out by a cold email. It's all about them and how you can make their life better. So he, even if he's not the right person, he's saying, if I can add value to the organization by helping you tackle some of the to-do list on your plate, perhaps cut some cost, will you at least be interested in pointing me in the right direction? So all he's asking is for the intro to the right person, right? And anyway, thanks in advance for your prompt response, which is another psychological hack. That is, he's kind of forcing them to give a prompt response, right? So then Grant says, thanks for your message. I'm primarily focused on the buy side, so I don't have an interface to the operational assets or the service business. If I get connected in the future, I'll give you some points of contact. Thanks for connecting, right? Even if, Grant is not the right person, he has a positive view of Angel and he's much more likely to refer to him in the future if he sees a need inside his organization. It's all about keeping that long game, which can only happen if you don't go for the hard sell, right? You go for relationship building, you go for asking. So this goes back to a key psychological hack, right? No one likes being sold to, but everyone likes helping people, right? So by asking for who's the right person, he's positioned himself as somebody who needs help, right? So psychologically he's making them do work for him, right? Which endears him to them and makes it much more likely that he'll possibly get a good response in the future. Let's take another example. So here here again he has a similar message. Neil says, unfortunately, I've not been in the wind turbine group for several years. I have been demolishing coal plants. So he's not the right person, right? Different um, role now. Again, sorry, I'm in facilities and projects, security projects, not wind. Okay, so wrong person. Again, I thought I had answered you. I'm not in the wind energy business. Again, this person says, I hope you find the person you're looking for. Greetings. So again, the goal is always to make them do a little bit of work for you, so that they're much more likely to actually, respond to you when the time comes. Okay, so how did we actually build the list for him, right? Because we see a lot of these people are actually not in wind. So the way it works is that there are only top 75 target companies that own and operate wind operators. So we went to a niche site. There's a site you can search for called top wind operators in the US. We got the target list from them, and then we looked at the right people in those lists, which is facility management, or site owner, site operator type titles, and then that's what we led with. So the goal again is to find the right person, and then make sure that you're asking for who the right person is. It's kind of counterintuitive, because even if they're the right person, they're much more likely to say, hey, yeah, it's me. What is it that you want to talk about? So again, using the right person hack is such a good hidden hack. If you're not using this in your cold email campaigns, then you're missing out. Make sure you do it, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you keep tuned for all the new hacks that we're sending your way every week, right in your inbox. All right, take care now. Bye bye.